This is litter that I just cleaned out of our chicken coop. This stuff is awesome. This is gardener's gold, folks. And I am going to teach you how to use this stuff. I'm going to give you different ways. I'm going to get into the details, and I'm going to tie a bunch of information that I've given you folks in previous videos together. Watch the full video. You're not going to want to miss any of this. Okay? Now, in this litter, there's a diversity of different nutrients. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, diversity is very important when it comes to compost, when it comes to nutrition for your plants. So in here, here's just some of the things. There's a lot of stuff in here. Pine shavings, different vegetation, feathers, oyster shells, chicken manure, obviously. Different food scraps that the chickens might have missed or that they just didn't want to eat. Citrus rinds, okay? There's also going to be lobster shells in here, maybe some crab shells, bones from chickens eating, picking those bones clean and the bones stay behind, okay? There's a lot of different things in here. You want to think diversity when it comes to composting and nutrient profiles for your plants. So over here, we have our compost pile, our compost ring. Please check out my previous videos teaching you folks how to do this. And you'll see there's some little bit left of some dead chickens that we had. Hey, homesteading life, it's real. Things happen, okay? Unfortunately, but instead of these chickens just leaving them, definitely not going to leave them in the coop, but instead of just throwing them on the ground, their bodies will add a lot of nutrients to this compost pile. This is easy to set up. So I'm going to take some of this litter and I'm going to add it to the compost pile. As you can see, I did that recently. I think that might have been yesterday, okay? That's one of the uses. So we use the deep litter method. Some people call it the deep bedding method, but with chickens, it's actually called litter because the chickens don't lie in it. They don't sleep on the litter, okay? It's litter, okay? Think of a litter box, okay? They typically at nighttime or in the evenings, they go on the roosts, and the majority of their manure is dropped under the roosts, which is a great place to harvest a bunch of manure, okay? And we clean it out. I leave some of the litter in the coop because it already has microbiology in it. And I'm going to work on building up a large compost pile in the coop, which releases heat for the winter for our chickens. Please check out my previous videos about the deep litter method, also known as the deep bedding method. But remember, folks, if you didn't know, you now know. For chickens, it's deep litter method, not deep bedding, okay? It's not a bed for them. So add this to your compost piles. That's one way to use this. All right. The second way you can use the litter from your chicken coop is as a top dress, as a soil amendment. Now, folks, you're going to hear different things, read different things about when you can use fresh manure. I recommend if you're growing in it, you're supposed to wait at least 90 days for it to age and break down before using it. Chicken manure is very high in nitrogen and is considered to be hot. That's what they call it. Very high in nitrogen. It can burn your plants, okay? Rabbit manure, on the other hand, you can apply directly to your plants. Now listen to me. There are people who use this and plant right in it and they're fine, okay? And their plants are fine. But to be safe, wait at least 90 days. A lot of this stuff has been in the chicken coop for weeks or months. So it's already aged and probably broken down at least. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I'm not going to be planting in this anytime soon. So this will compost in place. If you notice over here, we have some horseradish growing, and we also have some marshmallow plants growing, okay? Mallow growing. Now, I have not placed any of that near those plants, specifically the horseradish, because we will be harvesting the leaves and or the roots soon, and I do not want any manure near our food. Hey, that might be common sense, but common sense isn't so common nowadays, right, folks? So Don't put it near anything you expect to eat to avoid any unwanted microbiology on your food. This stuff is gonna break down. It's amazing, folks. This stuff is absolutely amazing, packed with nutrition for your plants. Put it right on your soil. You can till it in, you can work it in. I did kind of use the shovel to mix this up a little bit. We do prefer no-till, but there's a time and a place for tilling, at least 1 or 2 times in the beginning to find out what's in your soil. You might find garbage, toxins, whatever. I'll be posting about that actually probably soon in perhaps my deep trenching video or another video or videos. So you can till this into your soil, give it time to break down, okay? So your carbon and your nitrogen can find a balance, okay? You don't want to rob too much nitrogen from the wood chips, taking the nitrogen out of your soil, and you also don't want too much nitrogen. Let that nitrogen kind of break down and become bioavailable in the amounts that your plants will thrive with, amounts that your plants will really succeed, okay? Too much nitrogen, not good. A third way to use this awesome stuff is to use it to fill your garden beds. Here, I have 2 Hugelkultur raised beds that I'm working on putting together, working on building up. And this stuff is excellent filler. Now, the pine shavings are going to act just like the larger pieces of wood, the little pieces of logs there, whatever they're considered, as a spongy material to soak up water and hold water, and then release that towards the bottom of the roots, which is a great place for the water to be. And this way, you don't have to water it as frequently, and you don't have to water it as heavily. Okay, Hugelkultur raised beds are amazing. I highly recommend them. In this video, I'm not going to get into the details of how to build them, but essentially a bunch of logs and large woody material on the bottom. I've thrown a bunch of vegetation in here. I've let vegetation grow in here because it's just more organic matter, and the roots in place have a lot of soil microbiology in them and around them, and that's going to help turn all the nutrients into bioavailable nutrients for the plants that will be here in the future, okay? Also, the roots themselves, once these plants are covered, okay, I'm going to cover this with some soil from our chicken run and different things. The roots that are in place, they're going to break down. It's organic matter, and it's going to leave little pathways for air and water to penetrate these garden beds, okay? So I've just sprinkled this stuff throughout, and it's amazing. It's saving you a lot of money. Instead of buying garden bed soil, potting soil, whatever, okay, use this, and then maybe finish with a little bit of that or add a little bit of that. The way that I layer this stuff is like a lasagna style gardening. Think of a lasagna, it's in layers. So I'm gonna do this, maybe add more vegetation, a little bit of native soil, maybe soil from our chicken run, and then maybe some more of the chicken run clean out, okay? Now, I'm not gonna be planting in this year, so this will have plenty of time to break down and get rid of any unwanted microbiology, and also for the nitrogen levels to lower to a point that the plants will thrive in this soil, okay? Now this stuff, another thing, I'm giving you a lot of information here, folks, is texture. You'll see things like, I didn't mention before, mussel shells. You'll see things like this, oyster shells and bones. I think I mentioned the oyster shells before. There's something that a lot of gardeners don't talk about when it comes to soil and when it comes to compost, and that's texture. If you have one homogeneous mixture, that's not good. It might become compacted, and the soil drainage will not be great, okay? Might negatively affect your soil drainage. So let me show you something. In this garden bed over here, this awesome Vajayga raised garden bed, please check out my review video on that. Folks, we have a link, you could save some money. I filled this with, okay, there's a rock there, that's okay, because some of the soil came from our chicken run soil, and litter clean out. I'm squeezing this tight, super soft, loamy, full of organic matter, excellent drainage, can hold a lot of water, and there's still large pieces of sticks and stuff, twigs. That's okay, because again, texture, okay? When you have different textures in your soil, it helps the water drain properly. So here's another excellent way to use that chicken litter and put it to use, get some free fertilizer. So, whew, hot day, I'm sweaty, this is real. Okay, so I've got my container. At the bottom of my container, I put oyster shells. That's for drainage. Please check out the short that I'm gonna post about that, all right? So what you wanna do is you wanna just use all this organic material, but you wanna use it in a smart way. And what I do, folks, is add some native soil, okay, or your garden soil. I just took this from one of our garden beds. This is packed with beneficial soil microbiology. And I'm gonna sandwich this chicken litter clean out. All right, push it down, shake it around. I'm gonna sandwich that with soil. And that is going to help it break down and make those nutrients bioavailable for your plants. This is great because you're adding nutrients, your drainage is gonna be excellent, it's gonna hold water as well as drain well, and that's all gonna break down in time, folks, and you're saving money because you have less potting soil to buy, okay? Instead of buying potting soil, this is adding volume, this is part of your fill. I just gave you 4 awesome, easy ways to use your clean out from your chicken coop, the litter. Now, if you like learning how to be more self-sufficient, if you like producing your own food, please subscribe. It's kind and it's free. It costs nothing. And hopefully that will get our content in front of more people around the world so we can educate people and help people to be more self-sufficient, more self-reliant, and to save money, okay? For you preppers out there, you should really be looking to connect the dots and have a circle, okay? Use things you've already got, use resources you already have on hand instead of buying stuff. We have to buy on occasion, but let's limit that. Let's keep the money in our bank accounts. Let's rely on less people. Please subscribe, get involved in the comments below. Take care, everybody.